So you telling me you've been on Section 8 for 10 years and you ain't saved up no money? You working on Section 8, you getting food stamps on Section 8, you got a side hustle on Section 8, and you ain't saved up no money to get out, but you mad at the government for possibly taking away something that you had enough time to get your shit together and get out, but you got comfortable? All right, you must ain't never grew up in the hood where you had to wash your clothes in the sink and have to wring it out with your sister and brother and hang it up so it can dry, or use sugar on the cornflakes to turn your cornflakes to frosted flakes, or serve sandwiches. But never mind that. The whole point is, if you living on Section 8, then you know you're not living in no good community. You're not living in no good area. You living in a bad area, high crime rates, and you sit up there talking about you mad that the government gonna take it when you weren't even trying to get out the situation. You abused the situation, went to work, stacked your money up, went outside, partied, did all that, and then saved no money? And then turned your nose up to the people that was actually have real bills, $1,500, $1,600 rent, while you're renting $100. So again, to the black community, I love my people. I ride for my hood. I'm born and raised in Fifth Ward. I'm a product of my environment, but I want it better. My mama had 4 kids. I'm the oldest, and I was the first one to graduate from college, led by example. No matter where I came from, I never used that as a crutch. But I also knew growing up, that's not the life that we wanted. We settled for. I can't blame my mama. I can't blame my grandma, because, I mean, we could, but everybody they ain't had the same resources that we have. They ain't had the same resources that we have. I'm walking on the street right now while I own rental properties in my hood that I rent out. Don't ask people to sign no lease agreement, no nothing. I just look out for them and, hey, just pay your rent on time. That's it. But I ain't gonna get into that. The whole point is, y'all all in the comments, y'all acting like y'all know something. Blame you. Don't blame me. Don't blame the government. Don't blame nobody for your shortcomings. And oh yeah, by the way, do y'all know white folks get more of the government assistance than blacks? And I haven't seen nobody make that damn post or crying but us.
Trump says you no longer need 3 times the amount of your rent in order to get approved for a place to stay. Now, I agree, okay? Because if I was making 3 times the rent, don't you think I would be looking for a house instead of an apartment? Right? And then 9 times out of 10, the leasing agent don't even make enough money to make 3 times the rent of the apartment. I mean, we're struggling here. You feel me? I mean, it's just another way for y'all to be in my business. Y'all don't need to see my check stubs to make sure I can pay my rent. I better pay my rent, right? That's the whole point. I need somewhere to stay, so I better pay it. What does my check stubs from 5 years ago got anything to do with it? You know what I'm saying? So I agree with this. I feel like make it easier for us. Give us a fighting chance. That's all I'm saying. Give us a fighting chance. 3 times the rent is insane. Okay? I can manage my own self, thank you. Just let me in this bitch.
So the Trump administration recently proposed to cut the Section 8 housing program, as well as any other housing voucher program. And this came as a result of them trying to cut rental aid by 40% during a proposal that they put out. I even seen within this proposal, they said they wanted to put a 2-year cap on rental aid for able-bodied adults. So that's a cap, so people can't, I guess, take advantage of the programs. Now, of course, this is going to affect people who are, who participate in the program, who utilize the program for affordable housing, but it is really going to impact as well real estate investors that utilize Section 8 program. Because you invest in certain location, it's hard for you to get your rental income. Instead of going through that path, you try to go through this program because it can kind of quote unquote guarantee your income. Well, your portfolio may be impacted by this. And this is why you got to put yourself in a position to pivot when things like this happens, because we all are subject to regulatory risk. That's why a lot of companies and stuff lobby, because they know the power of that pen. Whoever has the power to pass a law or regulation can completely dismantle your business, your portfolio, or whatever activity you're doing. So real estate investors that utilize Section 8, be prepared for this impact to your potential portfolio and make a
Trump said you can only get on Section 8 if you're a veteran or a disabled person. Now listen, I agree. If you are of sound mind and good health, you need to get up and figure it out just like the rest of us. Stop having kids so you can ride the wave. The government shouldn't have to help you. At the end of the day, we're all independent. We can get up and grind. Do it like I do it. What do you mean? Why not? We're sick of people just riding the government's wave. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to just get housing, pay half of my rent, and then use these food stamps. If I need more, I'm going to just pop out another baby. What? What happened to go get it out the mud? What happened to work hard for what you want? What happened to that type of thing? You should leave that for people who really need it. People who are missing organs. People who have, they mentally can't, you know what I'm saying? People who need this type of help. Y'all don't. Let's be honest. Y'all don't.
So let me get this straight. The guy with gold toilets wants to end Section 8? So the Trump administration is now floating the idea of cutting Section 8. You know, the program that keeps grandma from living in her car or a mother with children living in a shelter. But wait, billionaires get tax breaks the size of Texas, and that's all cool. But helping people afford a one-bedroom? Socialism. This ain't about budget, y'all. It's about punishment. Nothing says make America great again, like making the poor homeless and building more golf courses at Mar-a-Lago. The cherry on top is some of you are actually out here cheering this on. Like you ain't got a voucher in your cousin's name and a P.O. box in your aunt's zip code. Be serious. Should your landlord be a politician too? Or should we start actually voting like housing matters? Because rich people ain't playing. They want everything.
How the fuck y'all mad at people that got Section 8 and housing vouchers, but y'all not mad at the motherfucking representatives that y'all elect to put in fucking office that can help with the cost of living around this bitch? Y'all swear because a motherfucker got Section 8 voucher that they don't have a real job. Or like they just miraculously get any house that they want. Bitch, I still have to qualify for the regular rental qualifications. Bitch, I have to have a good credit score. I have to have a motherfucking good residency score. Bitch, I have to have income. I have to have something going on for myself to be able to get these houses, bro. Are y'all thinking? Or y'all just too busy fucking hating? Y'all got so much faith in Trump changing the Section 8 requirements and all of this government assistance requirement, but y'all ain't got no motherfucking faith in him lowering the taxes for y'all, though. Y'all had the same faith y'all had in him lowering the price of eggs is the same faith y'all got in him with keeping good on any other promise he has. Y'all are fucking fucktards. Y'all can move the fuck around with that misplaced anger. Take that up with your local representative, ho.
I used to work at a homeless shelter as a housing specialist, helping people get into housing, and I've helped hundreds of people get off the streets and find housing, and Section 8 was usually the first application I would give people because the waits are like 8 to 10 years. It is extremely hard to actually get a Section 8 voucher, especially if you're homeless, because you need to keep basically reapplying for your spot on the list, and if for some reason you don't have an address because you're fucking homeless or your contact information changes, you can't update your status and you get kicked off the wait list, and then you have to wait a whole nother 8 or 10 years again. The system's fucked. It's very broken, but there are millions of Americans in Section 8 housing right now that are some of the poorest people in our country. A lot of them are disabled and elderly, and this is just absolutely devastating.
Y'all, the fact that Trump said that you don't qualify for Section 8 or housing if you're not a veteran or you're not disabled, I don't know when it's going into effect, but I know it has been talked about and it should be taking place. These landlords, it has sparked up a conversation between these landlords, because these landlords like, hey, hold up. Now, we used to get our money on time every month, regardless of what's going on. See, they gonna pay, Section 8 gonna pay them, and then you gonna pay your little portion of whatever your little portion is. But when you snatch that away, and then people say, all these young mothers, hey man, hey, everybody had an equal opportunity out here to get out here and do something different with their life. Everybody. What if that was never in effect? What if we never had Section 8? What if we never had housing? What if there was never no type of government assistance?
who would you be blaming then? And we ain't just talking about ladies and gentlemen. We talk about them landlords as well. What would you do then?
There's about 2.3 million people that get government subsidized housing through Section 8 across the country, and the Trump administration is looking to take it from a national level to a state level. So before you freak out with all this misinformation out there, it's not going away. The goal is to take it from a national overinflated, overbloated, overfunded program to a state level program where the national government will kick in a little bit, the states will have to kick in as well, and they will actually have to have a budget. There's also a discussion about a cap on able-bodied adults only getting it for so long. This is one of those things where the headlines sound scarier than the actual sublines. However, this will affect real estate. And this is why I've been telling y'all that Section 8 isn't guaranteed. Let me know what you think in the comments. The Trump administration is looking to kill Section 8.
And at some point, you got to think, these people are really evil. You're cutting funding from people who already can't afford their housing. How evil do you sound?
Now, for years, you tell people that there's a lot of kin folks on the welfare system. And they'll come out and say, no, that's not true. There are more white folks on the welfare system. Cool. I'll give you that. So we propose that since white folks are taking so much money from the system, they're abusing it, let's cut the funding from Section 8 and let them figure it out for themselves.